Hello artists, Mrs. Castle here, and we're going to sort of make shades. We're going to make a color darker. There are two ways you can do this. We can take a color and add the complement, or we can take the color and add a color that's just darker than the original color. So I'm going to use my red and green again, and I'm going to paint my initial color, my first color, my original color. And I'm going to rinse my brush and get my excess off. Now, I'm going to add green to my red, my original red. And each time I add green, my red's gonna, the intensity of the red is gonna go down, but it's also gonna kind of make my red darker or more shady. So I'm gonna get some green, I'm gonna touch off the excess, and I'm gonna stir it into my red. And then I'm gonna paint my box with a wash. Okay, remember to just use the tip of the brush. I'm going to rinse off my brush, get off my excess water. Notice I have never tapped my brush on the water dish ever. So I'm just touching the bristles to the inside top edge of the water dish. I'm not flipping it, I'm just touching it to the inside. I'm going to get some more green, touch off my excess, and I'm going to stir it into my red again. And you can see it change, even from the first little bit of green that I added. Oops, there goes my pencil. And I'm going to paint. I may need to add more boxes. It's getting darker, but it's probably not getting dark very fast. So I'm going to get rid of my excess water. This time I'm not going to touch off as much excess. I'm just going to touch it once and mix it in. And then, okay, there we can tell it's darker. Okay, and I'm going to do a couple more. With this one, I'm going to do 5 on each one, just so we can make sure that the color is getting darker each time. Okay, I'm going to rinse. Get my excess water off. I'm not flipping it, I'm just touching it. And then I'm going to touch off my excess. Paint my color. That's a little bit drippy, so I can rinse my brush and squeeze it off. Rinse my brush, squeeze the bristles to get the excess water out, and then I can pick up any puddles that I have because the bristles absorb like a sponge. Don't twist them because you'll break them and the brush won't last as long. Just squeeze them. All right, so that's adding green, and I'm not satisfied with that. Let's do 2 more, and so now we're getting towards kind of a brownish rather than the reddish, and by the time it's dry you'll really be able to see. Okay, so I'm going to be done with that. But I was going to use my green, and I need to add a little bit more water and make more green wash. This time, like the complement of red is green. I could use red for this, but not that red because I changed it. But this time I'm going to use a darker color. I could use blue. I could also use purple. That brown really isn't darker, but I could still use it to make the green darker. Just depends on what you want. Okay, so I'm going to put my original green down here. The color isn't going to go anywhere you don't put your brush. Checking to make sure we can see. Okay, I always get the excess water off my brush. Oops, and I'm going to put 4 drops of water, and I'm going to get, let's do purple. Let's see how dark my purple is. It's not terribly dark. It looks dark, but it's not very dark. Okay, I'm satisfied with that. So I'm going to get some purple. I'm going to touch off my excess, and I'm going to add it to my green. And we can see a difference in the color already. And I'm going to paint. Rinse my brush. Wipe off the excess water, get some purple, touch off the excess, and add it to my green. Touch off the excess. Touch off the excess and add it to my green. So we can see it's getting darker. Let's keep going and do the same number. Rinse, touch off the excess, get purple, touch off the excess, and add it to the green. Rinse, touch off my excess, get some purple, touch off the excess, and add it to the green. Okay, I'm going to soak up that little puddle. I'm going to rinse and squeeze the bristles dry. My last one, and I'm going to touch off my excess and then add what's left to the green. This is becoming a nice pine kind of green. That's significantly different from the green down here. And that's kind of puddly, so I'm going to get rid of the excess water. Rinse, touch off my excess. All right, so those are the 3 exercises that I want you to do. Solid washes, tints, and shades. Bye-bye.